A maintenance tech flips a breaker during a daytime transfer, and nothing obvious blows up, until the backup power handoff never completes. Elevators stop between floors, cooling drifts, and the front desk is flooded with calls. 2 hours later, you learn the ATS logic wasn't owned by anyone on the call. Could a 60-minute tabletop have found that missing handoff before people were stuck? That's what we're digging into today. Welcome to Built, Wired, and Secured. I'm Alex Morgan. Today, we're talking tabletop resilience, quick, realistic tech drills that surface the coordination gaps that actually cause outages. With me are Michael Harrington and James Rogers. Gentlemen, thanks for joining. Wait, are you saying we've been passing the buck and only notice when the lights go out?
Exactly. People think someone else owns the ATS logic or the carrier handoff, and that's fine, until tenants are asking why elevators won't recall. Then the scramble starts.
Reliability starts with disciplined maintenance and clarity. I've walked sites where BAS sequences and generator controls weren't on a single diagram. Preventative maintenance beats emergency repair, but you can't prevent what you can't see.
Good. So when folks hear tabletop exercise, they picture a big, expensive drill. Michael, what's the realistic sweet spot?
Short, focused, measurable. Pick one scenario, utility to generator transfer, a BAS cloud failure, or a carrier edge outage, and run 60 to 90 minutes.
60 to 90 minutes. Keeps it tight.
Right. And set one primary objective tied to business impact. Restore emergency lighting within 20 minutes. Verify manual elevator recall. Or confirm who calls the carrier. If you try to fix everything in one meeting, you fix nothing.
Also, constrain the context. Give realistic limits. No extra budget, limited staff. Those constraints force practical fixes instead of idealized projects that never get funded.
Walk me through designing a scenario. How do you choose success criteria and scope so leadership sees the value?
Start with the question, what breaks if this goes down? Elevators, cooling, emergency lighting, those are tenant impact items and revenue sensitive. Then pick a single measurable success criterion tied to that impact.
So tie technical outcomes to tenant or revenue impact. Got it.
And define the dependency source. Don't say power outage alone. Specify utility transfer, scheduled maintenance, or UPS failure. Each has different handoffs and fixes.
Okay. Practical attendee list. Who do you invite and who facilitates?
Invite operational owners, building engineering, IT network lead, security, the primary vendor for the generator or BAS, and a property manager. For facilitation, use a neutral moderator who keeps the clock and prevents technical deep dives.
Neutral moderator, so the conversation moves instead of turning into a technical workshop.
Exactly. And time box aggressively. Start with the scenario and objective in 5 minutes. Then confirm handoffs for 20 and use the rest of the time to play decisions and capture outcomes.
You mentioned artifacts earlier. Make them quick. What are the minimal things that actually lead to change?
3 lightweight artifacts. First, a 1-page owner matrix listing components and accountable contacts.
Owner matrix. Simple and visible.
Second, a short playbook snippet, decision triggers, and manual workarounds. 2 to 3 steps everyone can follow.
And third, a playback note that records decisions, owners, and deadlines. Keep each item to 1 page so people actually read them.
Short, usable docs. No long reports. Good advice.
Don't forget the follow-up. Assign owners in the room and schedule a 30-day, 30-minute checkpoint to confirm progress. If you don't schedule it, it never happens.
Let's talk surprises. What do these drills usually reveal that blinds teams?
Unowned components, surge protection at tenant risers, third-party UPSs, things outside your documented boundary. Also, single vendor handoffs, where responsibility stops at a connector. Those turn small mistakes into big outages.
I'll add assumptions about communication. Teams assume someone has the carrier contact and authority to act. But during a drill, we see who actually has the number and the permission. tenants feel the delay instantly.
Quick friction for the audience. Vendors in the room? Include them or not? Michael, you said yes earlier. James, you warned about meeting fatigue. Who's right?
Include critical vendors when the scenario touches their scope. If the ATS or carrier demarc is involved, a vendor rep avoids guessing. One rep, clear role, keeps it efficient.
I'm with that. Invite the right vendor, not every vendor. Rotate vendor invites based on the scenario to avoid fatigue and keep sessions actionable.
Nice. Clear guidance there. Give us 2 concrete wins you've seen after running a tabletop.
We did a 90-minute transfer drill and found the generator started, but ATS logic in the BAS was delegated to a vendor who only worked weekdays. Fix was straightforward. Update the owner matrix, add a manual override to the playbook, and schedule a firmware check. Next time, mean time to recover dropped by an hour.
For me, a tabletop showed our cooling fallback didn't run because the BAS cloud went read-only. We documented a manual cooling sequence, trained 2 technicians, and fed the task into the maintenance backlog. That training prevented a later service level breach.
Before we close, give listeners a 1-page checklist they can act on this week.
Checklist. Spoken plainly. First, pick one realistic scenario tied to tenant impact.
Right.
Second, limit the session to 60 to 90 minutes and time box the agenda.
Short and focused. Good.
Third, invite operational owners and 1 critical vendor rep. Fourth, capture an owner matrix, 1 playbook snippet, and a playback note during the session. And fifth, assign owners, deadlines, and a 30-day follow-up. Start small, repeat often. Preventive maintenance is built 1 drill at a time.
If you want that 1-page tabletop checklist, go to gdstechnology.io/BWS and download it. While you're there, submit a scenario you'd like us to cover. We'll pick listener submissions for future episodes.
One last tip. When you run your first drill, measure time to identify owner, time to implement a workaround, and whether the workaround prevented tenant impact. That data convinces leadership to keep the program going.
Thanks, Michael. Thanks, James. That wraps up this episode of Built, Wired, and Secured. Today, we explored how short, focused tabletops reveal hidden handoffs and produce simple remediation that reduces outage risk. Thanks for spending a few minutes with us. Until next time, make sure the systems you're responsible for are built to last, wired with intention, and secured for the real world.